I have had in my possession 12,000 contemporary guns, semi-automatic weapons, knives, cannons, and other street weapons, as well as 100 barrels of decommissioned nuclear stainless steel. So, I've received them all legally, and also they are all in the format of destroyed weapons. My name is Lin Evola, and I'm the artist-founder of the Peace Angels Project. The Peace Angels Project is a conceptual work of art. It entails concept drawing and utilizes sculpture to take the weapons and use them kind of in a conduit, transforming them into icons of peace. Right now what you see is a furnace that's about 7 stories high. It's melting down thousands of weapons. When I was standing near it, the nylons melted on my legs. So I create Peace Angel monuments very big and very permanent. And I'm going to tell you about that. The first thing I do is I take weapons, and I have to locate them, and I have to get them. So we utilize the Peace Angels Project USA Weapons Destruction Campaign, which is 450 offices of law enforcement nationwide. We have our companies that work with us to recycle the metal. We have everything in place. It's really nice. We also have a goal of destroying 1 million weapons per monument. The LA Sheriff is starting the very first weapons destruction gift to us to give us the weapons specifically for the sculpture that you see on the screen, which is the California Monument. That will be in downtown Los Angeles. What you're seeing now is when they gave me 10,000 weapons in Los Angeles. It was a very moving experience for all of us. So the origination of the art starts with my hands. It begins with concept, then it's drawings. Then these drawings, I work with an architect, so we get the proportions perfect. And then we go to the art foundry, and it becomes a 5-foot sculpture. It's fun, so I like that part. So what you see now, these are what the shards look like. These are called weapon shards. And I receive the weapons in 2 different ways. One is the shards, and one is ingots of melted metal. What you're going to see in a second now are the beautiful peace sign paintings that I did. I like to be first. Everything I have to be first, right? I want to do it. And doing the very first peace signs gave me an opportunity to make the first peace signs out of actual decommissioned nuclear stainless. Rock and roll. It was really fun. And what I like is that it had the granulated, pieces. We could pulverize the metal, or we could have the weapons metal shown, which was really, I like that too. Now these are the also, to me, stunningly beautiful peace signs that are actually made of decommissioned nuclear stainless, but you can see how smooth they are. That's from the melted weapons. So the the Peace Angel monuments, there's a real issue with corrosion. Because I'm a conceptual artist, basically, who's utilizing sculpture, not the other way around, it's very important that everything in the Peace Angels Project means something. So what I want to do is leave a legacy of peace, showing human beings overcoming the weapons, right? So that means that the Peace Angels have to be this beautiful, shiny, reflective surface. If we don't pay attention to corrosion, it will turn dark and crack and break down over time, which will give not only a different message, but the polar opposite. As well as the paintings and the sculptures, I also use a process called sputtering, because I want a super reflector. The sputtering process is microtechnology, which incorporates 1 trillion measurables on the head of a pin. What we do in the Peace Angels Project in using this process is we take the titanium weapons and we break them down to the molecular level, like as far as you can go. That was a big thrill for me. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to take the weapons and break them down as far as they existed, and then go back up from there. What you see here, these are sketches, sputtered sketches of the life-size portraits and landscapes that will actually have movement. Again, that's never been done before. I'm very excited. And the reason being that the viewer gets to see themselves in the actual weapons themselves. Then they get to see themselves walk through a field of flowers, a cityscape, or a war zone. And they get to remember who is actually in charge of peace. So my most famous sculpture, most well-known sculpture, is the Renaissance Peace Angel at 13 feet, which is in the National September 11th Memorial Museum. So this series of the Renaissance Peace Angel at 13 inches is what I call the original Peace Angel, because in 1997 it was the very first one that was created from nuclear missiles and street weapons, period. Within 48 hours, it was given to then President William Jefferson Clinton in the White House. The second of these Peace Angels in that limited edition is mine. It's been all over the world. And it opened the UN summit, sat on the desk of the High Representative of Disarmament at the United Nations, Commissioner of NYPD, Sheriff of LA County. The twin of this sculpture is a very highly respected award in Los Angeles, the only American award created 100% out of guns. It's the Angel of Peace Award, which is tonight, and I can't make it because I'm here. But I am co-founder with Billy Weiss, who is the Violence Prevention Coalition of Greater Los Angeles founder. She and I together started the Angel of Peace Award, and we give it to human beings who have a prevention approach to gun violence in America. Right now, who you see is Father Greg Boyle, I love him so. He saves lives on a daily basis in East LA. If anyone deserves that award, he does. The Africa Peace Angel was unveiled at Joburg Park Museum, the premier museum in South Africa, by Nobel laureate Desmond Tutu. That sculpture now resides at Wilkesburg Fellowship Center in South Africa, where thousands of lives were saved during apartheid. So at this time, we are creating the 64-foot monuments. And these two 64-foot monuments, New York and Los Angeles, will be done at the same time, with a third one in Silicon Valley just kind of beginning. The first thing is to navigate the sites and figure out where the sites will be designated. We have some conversations, some parks being offered, and we're kind of looking where they should go. The second is the Peace Angels Project has always had a tradition of aligning with high-profile people who represent peace. So we're aligning with more high-profile people and celebrities of note who actually really want to get the weapons off the streets. And the third thing is funding. There will be 18 humanitarian philanthropists and 18 humanitarian activists on each 64-foot monument base. These human beings whose likeness will be on these monuments have a great imperative. It's not for everyone. Whoever ends up on there is going to represent humanity in perpetuity. And all of this made out of weapons from our streets at this time. The Peace Angels Project is only part of the solution, creating imagery that is non-judgmental and uplifting. We are involved in something here, you know? The definition of war is armed conflict over 1,000 people. And we are involved in a war, and it is raging. You know, it really doesn't matter if we're Democrat or Republican, what color we are, which sex we are. We have lost so many children. And we're alive at this time to actually curb this. So I created the art and also the jewelry of the Peace Angels Project, and believe it or not, the jewelry was written into the project of the very inception. And I'll tell you why. I am responsible for getting weapons off the streets. But every single person who owns a work of art, who owns a piece of jewelry, is also responsible for getting those weapons off the street forever. They will never harm anyone again. So the Peace Angels are telling us, put more emphasis on the peace side so that human beings will continue to exist. If we engage our free will and we cherish life, we may have the opportunity to have things people think we can't have, which is peace in our time.